Canada will be represented by 313 athletes at the Rio Olympics. The Canadian delegation is made up of 187 women and 126 men, ranging in age from 16 to 56. They will compete in 37 disciplines. One of these best and the brightest athletes is in the studio with us. Join me in welcoming Balandi Ajamali to the show. Thank you for being here, Balandi.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, we're so excited for you.
Thank you.
All right, so tell us, what does this mean to you that you get to represent Canada?
It means the world, really. Like, this is I've been working for this for the last four years. I've been doing track training outside of school for 4 years now, and watching the last Olympic Games, seeing how the guys did over there, just inspired me to want to be at that same stage with them. So.
All right. Yeah. So who is it that you admire the most?
Ideally, I try not to look at people who are in this athletic world right now. I'm not trying to be like them. I always aspire to be one day be better than those who are ahead of me right now. So, I mean, guys like Usain Bolt definitely are people I have in mind that I look up to. But as things are unfolding right now, he's no longer that guy I look up to. He's now become my competitor. So I hope to go out there and do the best I can against him.
All right, so tell us, what does it take to be an Olympic athlete?
A lot of hard work, lots of hours, just dedication, really. And while I was in school, I train every day, train 5 days a week, twice a day some days, and it's just hard. There's some days where you don't want to do it at all. There's some days where your body literally can't take any more, but you just have to push through. You have to stay focused on the main goal that you've set for yourself. So that's definitely something that's driven me this entire time. Was just, I know where I want to be and I know how to get there, so why let myself stop short?
What's a typical day for you?
Well, while I was in school, typical day, Monday would be wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, so I can go for weights for an hour. Probably head back to my dorm room, get some homework done before practice at 12. And then after 12 o'clock, I have, after practice from 12 to 2, I believe, I have to go to class. I have to do class, and then once I'm done with class, go back to my dorm. Probably try to do some more homework, but by the end of the day, I'm fighting the sleep, so probably just get some food and sleep and try to find some balance of where I can do my homework as well. While I'm home, my schedule is completely different, just because I don't have everything right there ready for me. So wake up in the morning, same thing, around probably 10 o'clock, go to practice for 11 o'clock, come back home around 1:30, and because I'm home, I don't have the homework to do, so I can just relax the rest of the day and focus on what I have to get done for the next day. Talk to my coaches and let them know how I felt at practice and things like that.
So you have coaches?
Yes.
How many?
That's a really hard question because over the course of the year, a lot of different, so at school I have 3 coaches.
Okay.
And one of them is my primary coach, Brandon Campbell. So she's the one who takes me through my sprints program, takes me through everything I need to go through during the week. Then this is my head coach, Coach Kevin Lasher. He just, when I'm not doing my sprints workout, I'm doing the longer workouts. He's the one in charge of those stuffs. And then for my weights, I have Jessica Balzino. She's the one who's in charge of the weights program in the morning and all that. And then when I come back home, because I'm no longer training with them, I have the Athletics Canada coaches. So Charles Allen would be the coach I train with when I'm back home. So he just monitors me, make sure I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing.
All right. So what I'm hearing in your conversation are 2 things. One, lots of discipline.
Yeah. Definitely.
And number 2, lots of sacrifice.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
How old are you?
I'm 20.
You're 20. So when did you start all of this?
So I really started taking track seriously when I was 16. So I made it to OFSA, which is the high school championships. I made it there. And after that, my high school coach told my mom and I that we should look into me joining a track club. And so, you know, we went to practice the first day, and it was awful, to say the least. You know, I was in pain afterwards, and my mom was telling me the same thing too. She's like, it looked like you were in pain, like I was, but just because I had so much fun doing track, like, and that's one thing I still carry with me right now, is that you know, a lot of the guys who are doing track have been doing it for so long, have kind of lost the love for the sport and are just doing it because, okay, now I have to make it. You know, I've already invested this much time into it. But for me, it's different because I'm going into it as in, I'm still doing it for the fun of it. You know, like, I'm not doing it because, oh, this is the only thing I can do. You know, like, I still have school to fall back on, so I'm doing it because I just love doing track and meeting all the new people.
That's right. The reason why I wanted to talk a little bit about the sacrifice is because kids your age, right?
Right.
They don't want to sacrifice, right? Social life is really important.
Yeah.
Social media is really important,
Yeah.
right? So talk to some of the kids, because many of them do watch our program, because discipline is important.
Definitely.
Sacrifice is important. If you want to get somewhere, right? If you want to follow your goal, if you want to follow your dreams, right? Talk to someone like that.
So sacrifice, yeah, you know, it's a big thing, big thing when it comes to achieving your goals. So for myself, you know, being away at school, I didn't have my parents there to tell me you have to do this, you have to make sure this is, you know, in order. But I just kind of had it set in my mind that this is what I want to do, this is where I want to end up going, and I wasn't going to let anything, you know, get in my way of that. So when it came time to my friends asking me to go out, when it came time to you know, whatever else it was, I just kind of had to realize, all right, I can't go out with you guys tonight because I have practice tomorrow morning. I have to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, so I can't do this, you know. Just doing that, after a while, they start to understand that, okay, we can't ask him to go out on this certain night because he has this going on the next day, you know. The more you tell them I can't, the more they'll understand, and, you know, if they're your, you know, real friends, they'll understand what you're trying to do, what you're trying to build, and they'll end up supporting you with that. You know, and if they're not understanding of it, then it's just, you know, it's just something you have to decide for yourself. I mean, you have to know if it's worth it. You know, that's the question you have to ask yourself: is it worth it? You know, if I go out with my friends tonight and I drink, is it worth it tomorrow? You know, is it going to be worth it when I don't run the time I want to run? You know, and that's something I definitely have to ask myself all the time. And I came to the conclusion that going out with them is not, you know, worth what I'm trying to, you know, where I'm trying to end up going. So.
All right. Now, I want to change the subject just a little bit before we come back. Your family immigrated from Nigeria, and you came here. How old were you when you came to Canada?
I was 11.
Wow. Isn't that amazing? So now you're a Canadian.
Yeah.
You will be representing our great nation. How does that make you feel?
It feels great. This isn't the first time I've represented Canada. I've gone to multiple different championships as well. You know, when I was actually my first year, from the first year I started doing track, I've been going to World Championships. So I made it to World Juniors, World Juniors again, and then this year I went to World Indoor Championships. Last year I was in Korea for the World University Games. So each year, building on, like, adding these different, you know, events to my name was just something to have in the background, to know that I'm worth, you know, making to the Olympic team. And, you know, last year, looking at the team coming in here, there was a lot of doubt, especially including for myself, you know, because I looked at the times the guys were running and I was thinking, man, I'm way off of that. But same thing, you know, going back to the discipline, and, you know, I just had to put my head down and work through the whole year to make sure I got here. So.
All right. So tell us, what's your best time that you've been able to clock?
So in the 60 meters, I've clocked a 6:57. In the 100, I've run 10:15, and in the 200, I've run 20.5.
Okay, so for all those people who don't understand those numbers, help them understand, what does that really mean?
Okay.
Where does it put you on the scale?
All right, well, my 6:57, I ran that this year during my indoor season, and because I am in school in the States, Division II, I won my Division II title, so I'm a NCAA champion in the 60 meter. And I went to World Indoors for that time, and I came 10th in the world. So ran up against guys like Asafa Powell, and I was able to come 10th against him. So that that puts that into perspective. The 100, I've run 10:15. Putting that to perspective. So right now we have the last Olympics. We had 4 guys represent us in the 4x1 as always, and I believe the fastest guy on that team ran 10:15 at the time. So this year, with me having this time, it's definitely
Are we going to bring home gold?
That's the goal. That's always the goal. The goal is always to bring home gold. So we're gonna go for it. We're gonna leave it all at the track and make sure we have no doubts.
All right. Yeah. So all of us in Canada are going to be rooting for you and the rest of the team as well.
Yeah.
Yes, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
We're going to be watching you, and you're going to give us updates from Rio, what's going on,
Definitely.
and we're sending you lots and lots of good wishes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.